All right, January 8, 2021. Trump has been suspended on Twitter.
Teflon Don.
Yeah.
He's out.
Yeah, he's been booted. He's been muted. So apparently, you're looking at the screen here. Yeah. So after close review of recent tweets from Donald Trump and the context around them, specifically how they are being received and interpreted on and off Twitter, we have permanently suspended the account due to the risk of further incitement of violence. So he hasn't been suspended; he's been permanently suspended.
Yeah, he's totally out of there.
He's terminated.
It's not. Yeah, it's not a 24-hour deal, right?
But yeah, this is way bigger than just Donald Trump now, because this is like a witch hunt online of just things disappearing.
Yeah, 100%.
Right?
But what did he?
Crazy.
What did? Yeah, but like, how much violence did he actually incite? Right. So, I happen to have his Twitter page still up, and if we take a look, like, let's look. Like, nothing in here is inciting violence. Okay, I won't be going to the inauguration. Non-violent.
No.
Okay, 75,000 great American patriots who voted for me, America first, and make America great again, will have a giant voice long into the future. They will
He's even giving them a little hope. Yeah.
He's
not even crushing. He's not even crushing their spirits. But yeah.
Yeah. And then under that, we've got his so-called concession speech, even though he doesn't ever use the word concede. It doesn't even mention Joe Biden's name, which there's a few theories as what that means.
Do you have the sound for that?
I don't even want to click it because then it'll probably.
Oh right.
Yeah.
It'll be gone. Yeah.
Yeah. And then of course there's some deleted tweets here, and we can look underneath that. I'm asking for everyone at the U.S. Capitol to remain peaceful, no violence. Remember, we are the party of law and order. Respect the law and our great men and women in blue. So, not exactly the most violent of.
No, it's not inciting violence as they claimed, right?
Yeah. Please support our Capitol Police and law enforcement. They are truly on the side of our country. Stay peaceful. Okay, so
they're trying to build a case on him and then mute him so
you can't. Yeah, ridiculous, right? But then there's
it's a power move right now. It's a big time power move. Like, it's big tech and media saying we are in control here.
Yeah, and this is what you're going to believe, and it's like revisionist history almost, right? And then, of course, they've, they've deleted posts, right? Right. So we've got this here. It's the Trump Twitter archive, and we just filtered by deleted, right? Just to figure out, just to show what these deleted posts were, because maybe they were really violent too.
Yeah.
Right. Right. So we can see here. These are the things and events that happen when a sacred landslide election victory is so unceremoniously and viciously stripped away from the great patriots who have been badly, unfairly treated for so long. Go home with love and in peace. Remember this day forever. Right? And then...
You tell him to go home and be
he's
peaceful.
telling him, exactly. And then he put out that video.
Which was impossible to find.
But we found it on Bitchute because you can't really find it anywhere else.
Yeah. But there's even people believing that they've made it like a hard Google entry. There's a lot of people talking about that. It's difficult to find on Google.
That's true. They're trying to memory hole that as well, and which is why you can only find it on like Bitchute and shit like that, right? And then the other deleted tweet was Mike Pence didn't have the courage to do what should have been done to protect our country and our Constitution, giving states a chance to certify a corrected set of facts, not the fraudulent or inaccurate ones which they were asked to previously certify. USA demands the truth, right?
Yeah, so they're banning anything to do with the election fraud. That's done. And I've even heard Dominion is trying to sue Sydney.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting.
The tables have turned, apparently, right?
Yeah. And so here is the video. Some people are even saying it's deep fake, but let's not get into that.
I know you're hurt. We had an election that was stolen from us. It was a landslide election, and everyone knows it, especially the other side. But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. We have to have law and order. We have to respect our great people in law and order. We don't want anybody hurt. It's a very tough period of time. There's never been a time like this where such a thing happened, where they could take it away from all of us, from me, from you, from our country. This was a fraudulent election, but we can't play into the hands of these people. We have to have peace. So go home. We love you. You're very special. You've seen what happens. You see the way others are treated that are so bad and so evil. I know how you feel. But go home and go home in peace.
So he gets deleted, he gets blocked. So he starts, he makes a few more tweets coming out of the POTUS official after this fact.
So he pretty much just skirts them, right?
Yeah. As I've been saying for a long time, Twitter has gone further and further in banning free speech, and tonight, Twitter employees have coordinated with the Democrats and the radical left in removing my account from their platform to silence me, and you, the 75 million great patriots who voted for me. Twitter may be a private company, but without the government's gift of Section 230, they would not exist for long. I predicted this would happen. We have been negotiating with various other sites and will have a big announcement soon, while we also look at the possibilities of building out our own platform in the near future. We will not be silenced. Twitter is not about free speech. They are all about promoting a radical left platform where some of the most vicious people in the world are allowed to speak freely. Stay tuned. Yeah, and they'll silence anyone else, right?
So he basically they banned him, but he just uses the official POTUS account.
Mm-hmm. So he hopped to the next one. Yeah,
he's hopped to the next one, and he's pretty much hinting at creating a new media platform. And wouldn't that be something, right? And this is old. This is from a few months ago, November. But Trump eyes digital media empire to take on Fox News, right? So there's speculation that he's starting a cable channel, and that would be. Could you imagine?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it does bypass him, right?
Yeah. That would
in
be
a sense,
great.
but I mean, some of these platforms are so established, but that's all they are, is platforms. They're not governments. They're not world powers, but they are. That's what they become, right?
Well, they've become that, but there's just so much energy behind Trump's base.
Yeah.
So people, like, if he started like some sort of media conglomerate,
yeah. Well, why
it
not?
would just be savage. It would just be absolutely savage. And think about what, like, he knew how to play the media, just being in the media a lot before he was president. And so when he became president, he was able to leverage his experience playing the media before. He was able to get, millions of dollars of free advertising, knowing how to play the media.
Yeah, he knew the game.
So think about what he's learned now about the media.
Oh yeah.
And how to play it. Right. So if he takes that and if he gets into media, he would just crush it. He would absolutely crush it.
And he has a bone to pick with him.
Yeah, totally.
It'll motivate you.
Another thing that's happening is there are so many people around him getting canned as well, getting suspended as well, right? So here is accounts suspended by Twitter in today's ambush. There's probably more by now, right? Because it's old. It's 9 hours old. General Flynn, Sidney Powell, Ron Watkins, Major Patriot, Ring Medic, X-22 report. Okay, all these other kind of prominent Twitter profiles that are just everything. The Purge is on. The Purge is on, right?
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah,
and it's not just
YouTube's
Twitter.
already been at it for a while too.
Yeah, YouTube's been at it for a while, and today they just suspended Bannon's War Room. Okay.
Yeah, that's a big one.
The Donald.win had 30K member Discord server that just got shut down. Okay.
Yeah.
Then there is the post millennial, right? He's one of the reporters at Next News Network, and apparently they shut down his Facebook and Instagram, have permanently suspended me from their platforms without explanation. It was mostly just pictures of my wife, dog, and memories of my mom who recently died.
Wow.
So it's just straight vendetta. Anybody.
And they go hard, right? Whenever there's an event, they just milk it. Don't they? Like anytime anything happens, it just gets milked. And this is when, any kind of insurrection or, violence.
Any crisis.
There you go. That's the word I'm looking for. Any kind of crisis. And I swear to God, we lose more rights.
Well, what's that old saying? Never let a good crisis go to waste.
They don't. Fuck. And they jumped all over this one, man.
Yeah, 100%. And then we've got Brandon Straka, right? The guy from the Walkaway movement. So Facebook has just removed the Walkaway campaign and has banned me and every member of my team. So he's got a team, like a paid team and apparently like a, volunteer team. Everybody on his team banned from Facebook.
Huh.
The Walkaway campaign and page and all that.
And what exactly was that? What was the Walkaway Foundation?
So it was basically because he was a Democrat before and he kind of walked away.
Yeah,
right?
I gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I've heard of that.
And over 500,000 people in the Walkaway Facebook group with hundreds of thousands of testimonial videos and stories. Memory hold, bro.
God.
Gone. Facebook has banned everything related to Walkaway.
See, this is sick, man, and this is not healthy. This is not good for anybody to ban opinions. No matter you like them or not, it's better to hear them. Are you just too weak to hear something you don't want to hear? You know what I mean? People that scared of information, they'd rather live in a bubble.
Yeah.
Because it seems like there's a lot of people that are all for this. Complete censorship
100%.
online. Yeah, it's
totally
bizarre to me.
This this last one here, the Italy Gate stuff.
Yeah.
Is just getting trashed.
Right.
Everywhere. Like people are getting
So I guess that means that anything that's going to be considered, a conspiracy, they'll just remove.
Yeah. They decide, right?
Right. But that has to do with election fraud as well. And they already said that they're going to remove anything to do with election fraud and just make it disappear. They've made that abundantly clear.
Could you imagine if 3 years ago if Donald Trump came out and said, stop talking about this Russia collusion shit. It's a conspiracy. And anybody who talks about it, we're banning you. Could you imagine?
Oh, good point. Yeah.
Could you imagine the blue hair explosions that would occur?
It's funny what the Democratic Party gets away with and that you don't even act surprised when they do it. You know what I mean? It's just like, they did it again.
But when you just take it and you put it on the other foot, and just imagine.
Oh, the eruptions of just psychosis that would come out of that.
Exactly. But in reality, what happened was they shoved that Russia collusion hoax narrative for 3 years.
False narrative
for 3 years.
That the American taxpayers paid for, by the way.
Yeah. Millions of dollars. I thought last time I heard it was just under 30 million or something.
Wow. Yeah.
Right. So it's just something to think about, right?
Yeah, well, this is shitty, man, because now we're basically fucking gone censorship, freedom of speech has disappeared out of America now. And I mean, you might hate hearing about Trump, but I mean, if they do this about Trump, what else are they doing it for? And why are they trying to erase history? That's the scariest part. Why does all this information have to be completely removed? When you're rewriting history.
It's the commie way, bro. It's
It
the
is
commie way.
yeah.
It's right out of the handbook, bro.
Yeah. The
It's
history
what
is
you
written
do.
by the winners, right?
You take down their statues, you take down their history, you take down the dissenters, you remove the opinions of the dissenters, you memory hole everything, and you praise the state as Lord. It's a commie way.
Yeah. In 1,000 years, they could tell people that people came from an egg that Biden laid or something, you know? Like, if you erase all history.
New creation myth.
Yeah.
Biden in the forest, in the Garden of Eden.
Yeah, The Holy Ghost Biden.
In the Garden of Portland.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, man, and it's a scary road we've gone down now, for sure.
Yeah, and it's gotten to the point where the purge is so obvious and so real that even hardcore Dems and people on the left, like, I don't understand how you don't look at this and you don't feel a bit of danger. Like, things could easily switch.
There's no way they can be welcoming this kind of suppression. Like, please suppress my voice. This is what we want.
Yeah, these are the same people who want to, like, get rid of police, yet they're okay with large, oligarchical big tech companies basically policing the most important thing, which is speech and thought.
Yeah, their freedom of speech, their freedom of thought. Yeah, their opinions. And they seem to be okay with people being gunned down by police during Trump, rallies.
Yeah, they're fine with that.
It's backwards, man. And
but,
maybe they welcome it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems that way.
Yeah. But there's a lot of people, obviously, just calling this for what it is, right? People see this, and it's gonna. People see it, right?
Well, just that's it. Internationally, people see this as a warning sign. The Mexican president, he compared it to the Inquisition. Yeah, a court of censorship like the Inquisition to manage public opinion. This is really serious, and it is serious.
Yeah,
and you hear that from people in countries like Yugoslavia and Bosnia, warning signs of, like, this is how it starts, right?
Yeah,
this is what happens. It's divide, it's conquer, it's censor, it's total government control, and yeah,
it's a little frightening, but at the same time, I get it kind of makes me happy in a weird way, because, look, why are they trying so hard? You don't just do this. You don't need to do this if your opponents or the people you're trying to silence are just buffoons and have no chance.
This is true.
You only get this kind of flack when you're over the target, so to speak, right?
Yeah, they went balls out.
Right?
Yeah.
And if Trump is really just this guy that's totally now out of the picture, and they really won, and they've got nothing to worry about with the fraud and nothing to worry about with Trump declassifying a lot of potentially really damaging shit on the deep state, then why aren't they focusing on, like, doing their victory laps and throwing
there's no celebration. It's just
big Biden party and just focusing on that.
Well, they're focusing on crushing the opposition entirely. Yeah, that's what they're doing.
It shows panic to me. It shows panic.
It is.
That they know.
Yeah, no, you're right. They're not comfortable where they're sitting right now at all.
And they think or know or getting the hint that maybe Trump has something up his sleeve. And I mean, there is been a lot of talk about, D-class and that sort of thing, right? So
yeah, you got a point.
Yeah, and just generally with censorship, like in the last 2 years, okay. So many of my kind of go-to news sources a few years ago started, getting picked off one at a time, right?
Yeah.
First they came for Alex Jones, and then there was, Stefan Molyneux got hit pretty recently. There's Sargon of Akkad. There's, Milo was censored pretty heavily. X-22 report. SGT report. There's just it's the purge is, and it's like a boiling water with with the frog, that whole thing.
Yeah.
There's just slowly, and then they just start amping up, and now it's just they're like slipped into third gear, and they're just like ramping it up. Right?
And it's not. And another point is I don't think this isn't a financial gain for them.
No,
this isn't good for business in any way. Because they're going against what made them good in the first place,
Yeah. So just in the last day, it made a bit of a dip. So pre-close, it looked like it dipped like 1.5%, and then aftermarket, it's pretty much down another 2%. If I'm reading that right. So like just under 4% total.
And this shit makes a case for removing Section 230, what Trump was talking about.
Yeah, all of this stuff. Yeah, Section 230 is exactly what's protecting them. And, people say, well, it's a private company. They have the right to do whatever they want. Yeah, well, yeah, no, they do. They do. But it's not entirely in the free market because they are benefiting legally in terms of a guard of liability through Section 230, and therefore they are profiting because of a protection of the government.
We didn't have this sort of social media not that long ago. So this is a whole new force, right? This is something that's kind of been born.
It's a powerful weapon. And it's kind of like social media 1.0. Right? So Facebook and all these things, these are like 1.0. So internet came, and I remember using the internet on a 56.6 kbps modem dial up, and if somebody in the house picked up the phone, you're absolutely screwed, right?
Yeah. That's true. You just stop. It would be like, the lines would be going across, and then it would just stop halfway screen, right?
Yeah, exactly, right? And so it's like, this is social media 1.0, and it was heavily protected through government apparatus like Section 231, so it was allowed to get so big, too big to fail, right? So in a way, you can look at the big tech problem as a occurrence of government. Like it's only through government that these things got so big to fail. Just like how
they're their own solid entity at this point. Yeah,
sure,
powerful entity, right?
Similar to how Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac in the subprime mortgage debacle. Right? The only reason why there was all those subprime mortgages is because of Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. Again, a government program. Anytime you have these huge government programs, it can lead to things achieving the opposite of what they were intended to do. And in the case of social media, it was intended to be this open dialogue, people exchanging ideas and thoughts, and now look what it's turned into.
Yeah. Now it's like, it will only feed you information that, that falls into the algorithm that you fall into, and we're just going to feed on whatever, and it's sickening. It's really a toxic environment that creates bubbles, and now there's people screaming, keep me in my bubble. I don't even want to see this other stuff anymore. Just censor it all.
Yeah, 100%. And I'd say the one silver lining is that all this censorship just shows that, these people getting censored are hovering over the target.